Hello and welcome to another video from Minus Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today, we're looking at something that is now fairly old and is quite rare and hard to find. We are looking at the 2002-2003 release by Minimates from their Star Trek series or series 1 Minimate action figures. Now the Minimate figures are all block figures, and they're all very, very similar to the Lego style figures. They're all based on that particular type of figure. But these ones are a little bit different because this first season of the block figures were actually 3 inches tall for series 1. After that, they went back to the standard size, which is 2 inches. But these are from series 1, or this particular figure is from series 1, which was 3 inches. And this particular one itself was a Toy Fair exclusive figure that was only available at one of the Comic-Con Toy Fairs. Okay, so this is the figure in front of us. And it says Minimates, ages 4 and up, item number 87480, Art Asylam, and artasylam.com. And you can see it's got Star Trek. And it says Captain Kirk, the Trouble with Tribbles, Minimate. And you've got the warning information at the very bottom there. I'm just going to turn it slightly to the side because there is a label on here. And it says Figures.com exclusive Captain Kirk, the Trouble with Tribbles, Minimates. And that was exclusive to one of the Comic Cons from Figures.com. Okay, that is the front of the packet. Now, before we have a good look at the figure itself, let's turn the card around and look at what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I'll turn the card around, and this is what we've got on the back. I'm just going to bring it forward a bit so it's a little bit easier to read. So it says artasylam.com, and in the very top corner there, if I can get this into focus, we'll zoom in on that there, and you've got the Paramount logo there. And there's something else there that I can't quite read. I think it's join the Star Trek fan club. There we go. It's in very, very small writing though. You need a microscope or a magnifying glass to read that really. Anyway, so it says also available, and you've got Mira, Kirk, Uhura, Scotty, Sulu, Chekhov, and the Klingon. That is Wave 2, but Wave 2 are actually 2-inch figures rather than 3-inch. It says, visit the Art Asylam website for more info on our upcoming Universal Star Trek figures. And again, there's the whole group of them standing there together. It says, as seen in the Trouble with Tribbles, Figures.com exclusive, which is Kirk, which is this one. And then at the bottom, you've got all of the credits at the bottom for everybody who's been in the design and involved in the manufacturing of the Asylum, or they call them Asylum inmates, but there we go. And at the bottom there you got Art Asylam logo again, all the copyright and warning information, the barcode, and the item number, which is 87480, and it's made in China, CE marking, and the 0 to 3 not suitable for, and you got the Minimates logo on the left hand side. Okay, that is the back of the card. I think what we're going to do now, we're going to turn the card around, have a zoom in on the figure, and let's see what he's like. Okay, so I've zoomed in on the head of the figure. What can I say? It is a block figure, so it's not going to, features are not going to resemble William Shatner too closely. But you can tell it's Captain Kirk by the sly grin on his face and the hairstyle, I suppose, and obviously by the uniform that he's wearing. But obviously the head turns round, so the other side of the head, you have a different looking face, as the same as you do with the Lego figures. And there he is in his casual attire uniform, just as he wore in the episode the Trouble with Tribbles, and also, incidentally, that episode was then reused in an episode of Deep Space Nine called the Trials and Tribulations, where they kind of like mixed in the original series with Deep Space Nine, and they actually cut in the episodes and edited them together. Absolutely fantastic, that episode. But anyway, so there we are, and there is Kirk surrounded by Tribbles, just like it was when they fell out of the enclosed hatch after they'd eaten all that poison grain. And there he is in his black trousers and his boots. Usual cupped hands, as they are in all the block figures, just like the Lego ones and all the building block figures. Okay, that is Captain Kirk. So let's now, as I say, this was from season 1 or series 1, and these were the largest figures that they produced, which were 3 inches. So if you see from the bottom there to the top, you can see it's 3 inches, or 8 centimeters. Okay, and measuring across his arms, we're looking at about 5 centimeters, and depth wise we're about 2 centimeters, as usual figures are. Articulation, well, I'm not sure about the elbow. Oh, excuse me, I'll knock the camera then. Not sure about the elbows. I do think there is articulation in the elbow, but I can't quite see because of the Tribbles are in the way. But I'm pretty certain there is. So you've got the elbows and the shoulders and the hands turn. So you've got 3 points of articulation on each arm. And the same on the legs. So you've got the top of the legs, the knee joints and the feet all turn. So you've got 3 points on each, plus the waist moves and the head, obviously. So you have 14 points of articulation on these mini figures, which is incredible, really, for a miniature figure, even though these are block figures. So there we are. I'm trying not to get too much flickering light on here because I've got extra light on here, and sometimes it flickers if you zoom in a little bit too closely. So I'm trying not to do that. Okay, so how well did these figures do overall? Well, Minimates was quite a big line for Art Asylam, and they produced many different Minimate figures. So there was Star Trek, obviously there was Bruce Lee ones, Iron Maiden, Ozzy Osbourne, Kiss, and a few other series that they produced. Most of them were all produced in the 2-inch variety. As I say, with Star Trek, they decided to do the first series in 3 inches for whatever reason. But then after that first season, they did revert back to the 2-inch style figure. And there was a few accessories that was launched with these as well. There was the USS Enterprise, which the front opened up and you could sit Kirk in, who came with the model, although it was a 2-inch variety, not the 3-inch variety. So these 3-inch variety figures really didn't fit in with the rest of the lines. These were a little bit too big for the rest of the line. So, you know, a 3-inch figure compared to a 2-inch figure, they don't gel very well. One's a giant, one's a midget. So there we are. But overall, how well did these figures do back in 2001, 2002? I'm not exactly 100% sure of the release date. But it's somewhere around that particular time. Well, Minimates was a big line for Art Asylam. It was quite a collectible series. A lot of people were actually collecting these type of figures, and as I say, they're all very, very similar to the Lego figures, which are all very, very collectible and very, very big. So I think these were done, even though this first season was bigger than the standard ones, I think they were done in comparison and sold in comparison to compete with the Lego style figure. Block figures, always very different to your standard figure, and you either like them or you don't. I'm not a great lover of the block figures, to be perfectly honest with you. I do much prefer a standard action figure. But even so, a great line, a great advertisement again for Star Trek. And then I think there was another batch that was done of block figures that included a transporter and an engineering set. Can't quite remember the name of those, but that was another lot of block figures of Star Trek. But anyway, so yeah, these done quite well. Did sell fairly well, and as I say, this particular figure was only available at that toy fair or Comic-Con, whichever one it was. I can't remember exactly which one it was. Probably the San Diego Comic-Con, I would have thought. But it was, this particular one was exclusive to that figures.com. I don't know whether they had any left and they were sold on their website after the event, but I know that they were specifically available at the toy fair of that year. Okay, so let's move forward 23 years to the current date, 2024. Do these figures come up very often on the platforms? No. You do see more of the later range of the Star Trek figures. So the 2-inch figures, they pop up quite regularly on the platforms. You don't very often see the 3-inch figures come up. Probably because it was the first Series 1, and as the line expands and gets more popular, the second series and third series and fourth series and so on, they all tend to have bigger quantities. But the first season just tends to be a lower quantity, so perhaps that's why. Perhaps also is because they're bigger figures than the others, and perhaps also they didn't sell as well as the later series. I don't know, but they don't come up very often on the platforms. However, we at Midas Touch have managed to find several cases of these Minimates figures, and we've also found a couple of this particular figure, which, as I say, was the Comic-Con exclusive. And these figures are currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, and you'll be able to find this and many other Minimate Star Trek figures, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we are uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful Star Trek Minimates action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.